sands stretch far away. Of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, nothing beside remains round and gay.
I met a traveller from an antique land. Who said,
Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. My name is Ozymandias, king of kings. And on the pedestal these words appear.
tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed,
The hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, which yet survived.
and on the pedestal these words appear.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Look on my
Look
works,
on my
mighty
works,
and
mighty
despair.
and despair.
And despair.
And wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown stands in the desert. Near them on the sands, two vast and trunkless legs of stone.
Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch. Far away.
I met a traveller from an antique land. Who said,
The Jemannon equation is an algorithmic-based composition made up of various sounds.
The sounds have been manipulated in different ways while recording them.
The order of these sounds is determined by a series of processes, producing a random number sequence.
The results of each process create an outcome we apply to each of the sounds.
Okay, enough of this David Attenborough stuff. Hi, my name is Adrian Jemale.
And I'm Hayley Bannon.
And this is the Jemannon equation. As you see, the 4 cars are pulling up and they are getting ready into position to start the performance.
But before we see what happens next, let's go back and see how it all began. Little Red Riding Hood.
Elohim created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and void, thick darkness over the surface of the deep, and the spirit of Elohim hovered over the waters. Elohim said, let the waters of living creatures. According to every week. That was good.
Again.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that was better.
All humanity perished together.
Now I'm going to film. Mind reading for you today. Here we are. Random balloons. Today I'm wearing pink. It's no coincidence. We're going to choose a pink balloon today. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one right here. No. 3, 4, 5, 5. 5.
No! What the fuck was that?
It's running. Now hit the camera. that is now on.
Men make the moral code, and they expect women to accept it. They have decided that it is entirely right and proper for men to fight for their liberties and their rights, but it is not right and proper for women to fight for theirs.
Remember the dignity of your womanhood. Do not appeal, do not beg, do not grovel. Take courage, join hands, stand beside us, fight with us.
Courage calls to courage everywhere, and its voice cannot be denied.
We are here, not because we are lawbreakers. We are here in our efforts to become lawmakers.
Our case, I say, is so simple that it is like having to prove that 1 and 1 are 2. Indeed, this is precisely what the opposition denies. It says that 1 and 1 are not 2, that in politics, 1 man and 1 woman are only 1. And man is that one.
There is something that governments care for, far more than human life, and that is the security of property. And so it is through property that we shall strike the enemy. Be militant, each in your own way. I incite this meeting to rebellion.
I saw Ada Wright knocked down a dozen times in succession. A tall man with a silk hat fought to protect her as she lay on the ground, but a group of policemen thrust him away, seized her again, hurled her into the crowd and felled her again as she turned. For 6 hours this continued. We saw the women go out and return exhausted, with black eyes, bleeding noses, bruises, sprains and dislocations. The cry went round, "Be careful, they are dragging women down the side streets." We knew this always meant greater ill usage.
May I ask whether the Home Office has seen the reports of eminent medical authorities to the effect that this treatment always produces permanent injuries and very often fatal results if continued? Prisoners had been subjected to hospital treatment. This euphemism meant administering food by force. The process employed was the insertion of a tube down the throat into the stomach and pumping the food down. To do this, I'm advised a gag has to be used to keep the mouth open.
down my throat a tube which seemed to me much too wide and was something like 4 feet in length. I choked the moment it touched my throat until it had got down. Then the food was poured in quickly. It made me sick a few seconds after it was down. The horror of it was more than I could describe. Before long, I heard the sounds of the forced feeding in the next cell to mine. When the ghastly process was over and all quiet, I tapped on the wall and called out at the top of my voice, which wasn't much just then, "No surrender." And there came the answer past any doubt in Elsie's voice. No surrender.
Died in the Epsom Cottage Hospital at 10 minutes to 5 yesterday afternoon.
The representation of the People Bill received the Royal Assent on February the 6th. This will be the final issue of Votes for Women, which has chronicled our movement without a break since October 1907. But our regrets at severing a long and interesting connection are overwhelmed in the joy and thankfulness we feel at the victory of our cause. The cause for which we stand has triumphed. There could be no better end for any paper.
No giraffes were harmed in the making of this show. Our lawyers gave a strict command that all of you must know. They didn't want for water, were never led to slaughter, and the suggestion is repugnantly inapropos. No acacia eaters were poached or even fried, sliced and diced, drawn and quartered or shriveled up and dried. No, we're not in the market for a tessellated target. In fact, we saved them from a ravaged lion pride. Not one Giraffa camelopardalis was even looked at in vexation, misdemeaned in thought, or transgressed through imagination. They were never held restrained, or left unentertained. Why bother with this damned investigation? I said it once, I will again, that no giraffes were harmed, dispatched, massacred, butchered, assassinated, seized, detained or farmed. I know I sound defensive, but it's getting quite offensive to continue to suggest that I left even one giraffe alarmed. Quite frankly, I am tired of fending off these lies, so I'm bringing forth full honesty despite what they advise. I did leave one Okapi, looking ratherly unhappy, when I shot him point blank between the eyes. They say the grass is greener. I can see it's blue. I got a little sapphire patch I'd like to share with you. I'll set up a picnic lunch, with danishes and tea, while an orchestra of ants accompany a countertenor bee. We'll laugh until our cheeks are hurting, then an awkward pause, until consent, and with consent we clutch each other's straws. Azure cows make navy milk and sound a sadder moo, while we forget that green was ever normaler than blue.
The future's looking blue, and there's not much that anyone can do.
Created fall and darkness upon the face of God, and let light that divided the morning be a firmament. Together let the dry gathering of the seas bring forth the grass. For years heaven was so great.
Great to rule the lesser to rule the night.
Set in earth. Good evening. Bring fowl that open great whales and move their
creeping thing, kind thing.
It's good. Make our image after the fish of the air.
Creeping thing.
Subdue the living earth.
Behold!
Every tree shall be for meat, foul the air where there is life, everything made, finished. Work, made, work, created and made.
That in he was for honour as with his. They I, and be this have from or one had by word, but not what all were. We when your can said, there use and each which she do how, there if will up other about, out many than them these. So, some her would make like him into time. Has look, 2 more, right, go, see number. No way could people. My, then first water been called. Who? Oil. It's now. Find long. Down day, did get, come made, may part.
Here's an arbitrary chorus, in the middle of our pain. I thought it might help you feel more sane if I had an arbitrary refrain. Here's an arbitrary chorus, in the middle of our pain. I thought it might help you feel more sane if I had an arbitrary refrain.
Sing it with me.
Here's an arbitrary chorus, in the middle of our pain. I thought it might help you feel more sane if I had an arbitrary, trans-erratic, whimsical, wild, unpredictable, irrational, illogical, wanton and discretional, despotic, dictatorial, draconian, tyrannical, imperious, illiberal, oppressive, repressive, uncontrolled, unlimited, and unrestrained.
usual programming.
Teal enough for loving, cobalt in the veins. The sky remains cyan, even when it rains. Indigo and aqua flood our denim hearts, as two turquoise tortoises smoke clouds while playing darts. I close my eyes and try recalling the way things were before, but I can't seem to conjure up the days of emerald yore. They say the grass is greener, that was never true. Just a lie they told to keep me from loving you.
Blue, blue, blue. The future's looking blue, and there's not much that anyone can do.
Oh yeah.
Blue, blue, blue.
Baby,
the future's looking
blue,
blue.
alright.
At least I get to spend it here with you.
Blue, 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 blue.
There's not much that anyone can do. Blue, blue.
Oh yeah, baby.
The future's looking blue.
Blue, alright.
At least I get to spend it here with you.
Productivity anxiety. I have this productivity anxiety that everyone else is working harder than me, and I'm going to be left behind because I'm not working fast enough, long enough, and I'm wasting my time. I don't sit down to have breakfast, I take it to go. I call my mother when I'm free, otherwise it takes too long to have a conversation. I put off everything that won't bring me closer to my dreams, as if the things I'm putting off are not the dream themselves. Isn't the dream that I have a mother to call and a table to eat breakfast at? Instead, I'm lost in the sick need to optimize every hour of my day, so I'm improving in some way,
making money in some way,
advancing my career in some way, because that's what it takes to be successful. Right? I excavate my life, package it up, sell it to the world.
and when they ask for more, I dig through bones, trying to write poems.
Capitalism got inside my head and made me think my only value is how much I produce for people to consume. Capitalism got inside my head and made me think I am of worth as long as I am working. I learned impatience from it. I learned self-doubt from it. I learned to plant seeds in the ground and expect flowers the next day. But magic doesn't work like that. Magic doesn't happen, because I've figured out how to pack more work in a day. Magic moves by the laws of nature, and nature has its own clock. Magic happens when we play, when we escape, daydream and imagine. That's where everything with the power to fulfill us is waiting on its knees for us. Productivity, anxiety.